regardless of whether you're doing Aikido or Judo, one of the most important elements that you're going to learn, probably the single item that's going to save your behind out there in the real world, is proper Ukemi. Learning how to properly fall can prevent a lot of serious injuries, and really it teaches you the best way to receive the technique. Being thrown actually teaches you more about the technique than throwing your partner. So I'm going to just visit with you about a couple of the fundamental ideas that I like to think about with Ukemi. The first element is, I have a couple of props to help demonstrate. And we hear people talk about being relaxed as they fall. And this is very counterintuitive. It's very difficult to do, especially as you're beginning. But it's very critical. If you're apprehensive, if you're scared, we all were, it's okay. That's why you start easy and you build up at your own pace. But it's important that you do that in such a way that you're not going to be rigid. If you're rigid, whenever you fall, all the extra energy goes through your body. And I want to use my Joe stick here to demonstrate that. Is if I'm rigid, I'm like this Joe, and as I hit, all that extra that goes, you end up taking that energy into your body. If you're relaxed, you're a lot more like this belt, and you fall, and that's it. It's very easy, very, very straightforward. Another element that we want to look at as you're falling, typically is to be round. And I've got the big red ball here to sort of help me talk about round. And round is, you see it everywhere in your Ukemi that you're going to do, especially back fall ideas. You see it in forward rolling ideas. And I'm just going to demonstrate, I don't typically practice these like this, but I'm going to demonstrate it to convey the point about round, is that if I'm working forward rolls, I can hug this ball and mold my body to be round like the ball. And you can do rolling action. And you'll notice that that stays very round. And that roundness is very important. As we deal with backfall ideas, you're letting yourself be round. And it's very important. As you're working on Ukemi, as you're working on improving your skills, you always start easy and then progress to a little more difficult form and become very comfortable. Become very, very comfortable with your falling. It doesn't take very much. It takes one bad fall to really sort of spook your subconscious again, and then you have to sort of back up and start learning things over. So you want to start off with very simple forms where you're basically going to be slapping out on the floor. And as you're learning falls, you say, oh, I'm going to learn to do forward roll. Learn your forward roll from this kneeling idea. Very safe, very low impact. Now, before you get all crazy and want to go to the standing fall, take advantage of the crash pad. If your school has a crash pad, use it. There's no shame in using the crash pad at all. I spent the first probably 4 months on the crash pad learning how to do really nice Ukemi. Once you've gotten good at doing falls on the crash pad, then you can get back out into the normal floor and work it. At any time that you feel uncomfortable, don't progress. Go ahead and let yourself slide back into your comfort zone, because it's important that you're building a natural, reflexive response and that you are comfortable with your own skill level. Nobody should be pushing you at an accelerated rate. You should be progressing at your own comfort level. So those are just a couple of fundamental thoughts on Ukemi as we get ready to get into the actual different falling forms.